This is a presentation on the draft 2025 to 2028 Transportation Improvement Program, also known as the TIP, for Western Connecticut Council of Governments, also referred to as WestCOG. Western Connecticut Council of Governments, WestCOG, is comprised of two metropolitan planning organizations, or MPOs. The first being Housatonic Valley, HVMPO, shaded green on the right-hand side, and Southwestern Region, or SWRMPO, shaded blue on the right-hand side. Today's meeting will focus on the draft 2025 to 2028 Transportation Improvement Program, or TIP, for both MPOs. WestCOG is a voluntary association of towns and cities located in Western Connecticut. It serves as a forum for municipal chief elected officials to come together and discuss issues of common interest and cooperate on various initiatives. WestCOG staff serve as staff to the MPOs. The municipalities within WestCOG are Bethel, Bridgewater, Brookfield, Danbury, Darien, Greenwich, New Canaan, New Fairfield, New Milford, Newtown, Norwalk, Reading, Ridgefield, Sherman, Stamford, Weston, Westport, and Wilton. MPOs are federally mandated and federally funded transportation policy-making organizations designated by the governor. MPOs serve as forums for cooperative transportation decision-making in urbanized areas with populations of 50,000 or more. Originally created in 1962 as part of the Federal Aid Highway Act, the purpose of an MPO is to ensure that existing and future expenditures of federal funds for transportation projects and programs are based on continuing, cooperative, and comprehensive planning process, also known as 3C planning. HVMPO is made up of chief elected officials and one transit representative. SWRMPO is made up of chief elected officials and two transit representatives. MPOs are responsible for carrying out the major planning functions outlined by federal regulations, including the development and administration of the TIP, in cooperation with the Connecticut Department of Transportation, also known as CTDOT or CONDOT. What is the TIP? The Transportation Improvement Program, or TIP, is a financially constrained listing of all federally funded transportation projects in the region. Once finalized, projects on the 2025 to 2028 TIP are expected to receive federal transportation funds over the 4-year period. Projects on the TIP are developed through a collaborative planning process and are identified in the region's Metropolitan Transportation Plan. Projects on the TIP are developed cooperatively between the MPOs, CTDOT, and other transportation stakeholders. The TIP is amended as needed to adjust for project and funding changes. Amendments are vetted by the Technical Advisory Group and then endorsed by the MPO. CONDOT concurrently maintains the draft 2025 to 2028 State Transportation Improvement Program, or STIP, which lists all state transportation projects. Projects on the TIP conform to federal air quality standards and assist in achieving federal performance measures. This is a map of HVMPO. As you can see, the municipalities include New Milford, Sherman, Bridgewater, New Fairfield, Brookfield, Danbury, Bethel, Newtown, Ridgefield, and Reading. This is the draft project listing for HVMPO's 2025 to 2028 Transportation Improvement Program. As you can see below, at the bottom of the screen, there is a legend for all acronyms used on this spreadsheet. All of this is included also on the WestCOG website for future reference. In the slides prior, you could see projects such as the Newtown Exit 9 project, also projects for TAP that provides funding for bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure improvements. There are statewide bus shelter improvement programs, and you will also see funding for transit operations. as well as capital improvements. And pavement and signal projects. This is a map of the SWRMPO, which includes municipalities such as Weston, Wilton, Westport, New Canaan, Norwalk, Stamford, Darien, and Greenwich. This is the draft project listing for the SWRMPO 2025 to 2028 Transportation Improvement Program. As you can see here as well, at the bottom of the screen, there is a legend for all acronyms used in this project listing. All of this information can be found online at westcog.org. There are projects such as the Route 7 to 15 interchange in Norwalk, the TAP program, rail projects, including track improvements, funding for transit operations, and for bridge inspections, as well as asset management projects and bridge management projects. And pavement management projects. In regards to transportation districts and statewide projects, some projects may occur at multiple locations throughout a district and are not easily shown on a map. Statewide projects do not typically have exact locations associated with them. They include projects such as operating assistance, travel demand management, and statewide technology projects. All projects, along with funding details, are provided in the draft 2025 to 2028 TIP. This is a map of HVMPO with environmental justice areas and TIP projects mapped. Some projects on the TIP are small-scale projects, such as roadway resurfacing, intersection improvements, and signal upgrades. Short-term construction-related impacts associated with these projects are likely to be minimal and affect users of the transportation system equally. The improvements proposed in the TIP have the potential to create significant benefits for all populations by improving the transportation system. Here is a map of the SWRMPO municipalities with environmental justice areas and TIP projects. Continuing on, in regards to the previous slide, larger scale projects similarly aim to create a significant benefit to all users equally, though impacts, especially during construction, are generally larger. To reduce the negative impacts, public involvement plans tailored to specific projects are developed and managed by CONDOT. Information and schedules are posted to project websites, as are the public involvement plan and outreach materials. This is a breakdown of state, federal, and local funds for the HVMPO draft TIP. Projects in the TIP reflect projects that are specific to municipality and MPO, but also reflective of statewide and regional projects as well. This is a snapshot of anticipated level of funding. Over the next 4 years, the HVMPO TIP is expected to acquire approximately $706 million to implement. This is a breakdown of FHWA and FTA funding. This is a continuation of the funding, broken down in charts. This is the HVMPO draft TIP performance measures for air quality, freight movement, highway asset management, highway safety, system reliability, transit asset management, and transit safety. As you can see, the projects in the draft tip that support each performance measure are listed here in bold for each performance measure. This is a example of the incoming funds for the draft tip for the SWRMPO. This is an anticipated snapshot of the level of funding. For SWRMPO, over the next 4 years, the TIP is expected to acquire approximately $1.1 billion to implement. Again, this is a breakdown of state, federal, and local funds. Projects in the TIP reflect projects that are specific to a municipality and MPO, but also reflective of statewide and regional projects. This is a breakdown of the FHWA and FTA funding. This is that funding broken down into a chart. For SWRMPO, this is the draft TIP project performance measures. Again, you can see that air quality, freight movement, highway asset management, highway safety, system reliability, transit asset management, and transit safety all have associated projects that support these performance measures in bold. This is a schedule of the public comment period for both MPOs for the draft TIP 2025 to 2028. March 1st was the beginning of the public comment period. March 12th was the SWRMPO public information meeting. March 14th was the virtual public information meeting for both SWRMPO and HVMPO. March 19th was the HVMPO public information meeting, and April 1st is the end of the public comment period. WestCOG's Technical Advisory Group, or TAG, has the opportunity to make a recommendation to the MPOs on April 9th. Following the April 9th meeting, that potential recommendation will be presented to the HVMPO and SWRMPO on April 18th for potential endorsement at that meeting. The public comment period is announced in accordance with the Public Involvement Plan and legally noticed in the Norwalk Hour, Stamford Advocate, La Voz Hispania, Danbury News Times, and La Tribuna. Additional announcements were issued through media releases, social media, the WestCOG website, and newsletter. How to submit comments. Also considered for endorsement is the CTDOT draft air quality conformity determinations for ozone and particulates. The draft TIP and draft air quality conformity determination documents are available for inspection at westcog.org beginning March 1st, 2024. Persons with limited internet access may contact WestCOG by telephone, email, or mail. Comments on the draft TIP or draft air quality conformity may be made by mail, email, telephone, or at one of the public information meetings. To register to make a comment at one of the public information meetings, members of the public are asked to please contact plan@westcog.org and provide a name as well as the subject matter that is being commented on. Once the public comment period closes, WestCOG will review all comments received and update the TIP as appropriate. CONDOT is responsible for conducting detailed transportation and air quality modeling and issuing conformity determinations. CONDOT has determined that the 2025 to 2028 TIP is in compliance with applicable air quality requirements. Thank you for listening to this presentation.